हाय गाइस, हेलो, क्या हाल है? आइए और हम लोग अब शुरू करते हैं आज की कहानी। आज की कहानी क्या है? ओहो, सो सॉरी, दिस इज एन इंग्लिश मीडियम चैनल, आई हैव टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश. Alright, so I forgot that point. Let's get started again. Let me make myself a bit more chota. Okay, works well now. So guys, we are going to have the GS thing. We are actually starting with the GS session, and this is the English medium GS session. Welcome everyone, and we are going to have the top MCQs English session. This is, and we are going to have top MCQs of GS section wise. I'll be discussing detailed, proper detailed solutions of every single question that we will be having, and you guys can take it as a live test. This is your live test, I would say. Let's get started. Okay, just a moment. रुको. Okay, अब शुरू करते हैं यार मामला. आ जाओ. So the first question is, the concept of judicial review in our constitution has been taken from, कहाँ से लिया गया है? Let me also open the comment section as well, so I can see it up whenever you guys are answering. If you are answering, just a second. Hi, Venkat, what's up? Vinod, hi. So you've been asking for this session for quite a long time. Vinod, let's have this session as a tuition session, right? You can ask me any question about the concept that we are discussing now. You can ask me every single thing that comes up in your mind, and I'll be more than happy to answer that. Will that be okay? Very well. Let's have a personalized session, Vinod. So the concept of judicial review. So see, what is the judicial review? You see, for example, let's say I feel that the parliament of the country has made some wrong. I feel that the parliament of the country has made some wrong policies or passed some wrong act of the parliament, which is, in my opinion, is not suitable. So what I'll do is, I'll request the Supreme Court or I'll request the High Court to actually review those things, to actually review the acts which was passed by the parliament. What does this signify? This signify that yes, Supreme Court can keep a check on the government, isn't it? This actually signifies yes, Supreme Court can actually keep a check on the parliament, on the policies that the parliament is making. True. Now, from where did the constitution makers actually got this idea? So you see, we got this idea from United States of America. And what are the other things that we got from United States of America? What are those? So we have one is from United States of America. One is the fundamental rights. Other is the written constitution. Third is the Supreme Court. You guys can note that down as well. So first is the fundamental rights. Second is the fundamental rights ho gaya. Then written constitution. Yes. Third is the Supreme Court. Fourth is the impeachment process of the president. All those things have been taken from USA only. Then removal of Supreme Court or High Court judges. The process is obviously similar to the impeachment only. So these are the things that we have taken from United States of America. And why America? Because you see, USA got freedom and made their own constitution in before 1787 only. I mean, they were so advanced in terms of constitution from us. 1757 only they made their constitution. So it's very advanced. They're already 200 years they were advanced than us. That is why they have already made some beautiful laws, some beautiful rules and regulations. So that's what we have incorporated from them. Let's move on to this one. The Constitution of India borrowed the scheme of Indian Federation from the Constitution of. From where did the Constitution of India borrowed the idea of federation? Now, before moving on to this one, I'll like to explain you entirely that what is a federation. You see, guys, and you can be very well freely. You can ask me if anything is not clear to you. I'll be more than happy to answer you up all your queries. Now, try to understand what it was. Federation means there are two kinds of government. One is there are two kinds of constitution as well. One is a unitary constitution, other is a federal constitution. Now, what is a unitary constitution? Or for that matter of fact, what is a federal constitution? So you see, in a unitary constitution, what happens is the entire power is actually confined in one single place, that is called as the central government. For example, the process that we have in United Kingdom, that is UK. In UK, the main power is always concentrated with the central government or the parliament of the United Kingdom. But in India, we have a different set of things. That's called actually, we are kind of a federal nature. We are kind of a federal in nature. I'm saying kind of. I'm not saying we are absolutely federal in nature. Now, what is this federalism, or what is this federal nature of the constitution? You see, the power in India is actually divided. Some power is enjoyed by the states, while some other power is enjoyed by the central government, and both these powers are clearly mentioned in the union list and the state list of the Indian Constitution. Got the point? Some parts are written in some parts are given to the states exclusively, and some parts are given to the central government exclusively. For example, defense, for example, international trade, defense ho gaya, international trade ho gaya, or you can say communication ho gaya, right? All these parts are exclusive prerogative of the central government. While if we talk about the state, land use, electricity, these are the laws wherein only state makes the rules. This is called as the federal nature of the constitution. So that has been taken from Canada. It's not from United States of America. Please remember this. Although United States of America does follow a very good federal structure, exact federal structure. The ideal federal structure is followed by the United States of America, but we have not taken it from USA. We have taken it from Canada. Let's move on to next one. We are not very good. Oh, so quite a lot of people. I haven't even told that I'm going to take the session. Good then. Good. So you guys can ask whatever thing you would like to ask me, since that's a small bunch of people who are attending the session currently. So if at any single point, if you are having the problem, or is there any point that you are not able to understand so far in your education journey, you can be freely ask me that what is the meaning of this particular point that you have just talked about, or that is written in your slides, right? Feel very free to do that. Now, the idea including the emergency provisions in the Constitution of India has been borrowed from. You see, emergency constitution. Now, when it comes to emergency, we are very much, there is just one constitution that was talking about the emergency and all those things. It is basically the Weimar Constitution, or why it's called as Weimar Constitution, because Weimar, the Parliament of Germany is also called as Weimar. The building is also called as the Weimar. So it's Weimar Constitution of Germany. The Constitution of Germany is called as the Weimar Constitution. Also, not just the emergency provision, but also what will happen on the individual's fundamental rights when the emergency is in place. This provision also we have taken from the German government only. I'll repeat that again. So, not just the emergency provisions that we have taken from the German government, but at the same time, we've also taken the effect of those emergency provisions on the fundamental rights of the people. We have also taken this particular point from this particular thing as well from the German government. All right, let's move on to the next one now. So next is the office of Lokpal and Lokayukta in India is based on which of the following? The office of Lokpal and Lokayukta in India is based on which of the following? From which country we have taken this thing? Any idea? And who is the current Lokpal? I would also like to ask this thing. Who is the current Lokpal? Justice Pinaki Chandra Ghosh, selected in 2019, 23rd of March 2019, the day when Bhagat Singh died. Bhagat Singh was martyred on that day. He was hanged till death by the British government. So 23rd March was that day. And that was way in the history. And this Pinaki Chandra Ghosh incident happened in the 2019 itself. So that he's the Ombudsman of or the Lokpal of India. Lokpal is also called as Ombudsman, and this process has been taken from where? Ombudsman in Scandinavia. What is this Scandinavia? Well, Scandinavian countries are there. Scandinavian countries are those countries, the countries which are actually in the northern Europe. For example, Norway and all. these kind of countries, they are known as Scandinavian countries, wherein there is a lot of, the temperature is very, very low. So all those countries are known, the vegetation is very low, the temperature is also low, because of which the vegetation is also very low. All those countries are known as the Scandinavian countries. So Ombudsman in Scandinavia, so those countries used to have that, from where we have borrowed this policy. Which state was the first to introduce the office of the Lokpal? What is this Lokpal? For example, if there is, say, let's say you saw corruption that is happening, a particular minister is involved in the corruption. So whom would you complain about that particular minister? Or let's say a government agent is involved in the corruption. So whom would you basically go and complain? So all those things can easily be addressed to the Lokpal of the state or Lokpal of the country. So that is how Lokpal is there. Clear? Now, which amendment act introduced the changes in the preamble to the Indian Constitution? What was the amendment? This was the mini constitution, I would say. I've just given you a small hint. Very good. France. What is the... you see, so what happened was, when Indira Gandhi ji introduced the emergency in India, the year was 1975, the day was 25th of June. 25th of June 1975, Mrs. Indira Gandhi introduced the emergency in India, though India was not ready for an emergency. And then what she did was, she introduced a 42nd amendment in 1976 and did a whole lot of changes in the entire constitution. Some of those changes were later removed by the Janata government that came up in 1977. Anyway, now let's try to understand what were those changes that were implemented in this 46th amendment of 1976. Point number one. First thing was, you guys can, okay, 46th amendment, Deepshikha, correct answer, Manisha, correct answer, and Vinod Kumar, that's the correct answer. Very good. Harini, bahut achhe. Nice. Very good. So now see guys, what were the changes? If you guys are having any notebook, I would recommend you guys to have one. If you're not having, I would recommend you guys to have one, because I'm going to talk about a list of the changes that were introduced by Mrs. Gandhi in this one. You see, first of all, she introduced 3 words which are very, very important. Number 1, socialist. Number 1, socialist. Number 2, secular. Number 2, secular. Socialist, secular, and integrity. Socialist, secular, and integrity. All these words, these 3 words were added to the constitution. They were added to the preamble of India. Then the idea of this one, DPSP was given precedence over fundamental rights. I mean, before fundamental right, we have the obligation to fulfill DPSP as well. Now, I very well know that you guys do not understand this point. So I'm going to make this pretty easy for you. You see, beyond, all right, okay, you are Manish, oh sorry, Manish, yes, Manish Singh, very well. So you see, this is a very interesting point that I'm going to tell you about. DPSP were given precedence over fundamental rights. That's the exact statement. DPSP was given precedence. You know what is the meaning of precedence? Precedence over fundamental right. You see, now, here see, fundamental right. I mean, if there is a DPSP, Directive Principles of the State Policy, and if the government is implementing those DPSP, and in the process of which your fundamental right is being violated, it is perfectly fine. Now, let me take an example and guide you about that. So you see, there was this right to property was this one article, which was a fundamental article. Now, as per right to property, if it is a fundamental right, then obviously government cannot divide you out of your land, because it is a fundamental right to have your land, and government cannot under any circumstances divide you out of your land, right? Now imagine a situation wherein you are having a very big plot of land and a national highway has to go through it. And now you are not allowing that national highway to go through it. Now what will happen? The development of the country will actually come to halt because of your adamant nature that you are not ready to give your plot of land to the government, for which the government is also ready to pay you a good sum of money. Now these kind of activities were very popular at that time. And what you used to do is, and if by chance, if government takes that land by force, you could have directly gone to the Supreme Court or to the High Court to say that the government has encroached upon my land and this is my fundamental right which is being violated in this process. Now this is a very tricky situation now. The government also is under obligation to make to develop the infrastructure, because it is pointed out in the DPSP. Now the government is in a fix. On one hand, DPSP, that means Directive Principles of the State Policy. So DPSP is a set of rules and regulations on which government has to make some policies. All the policies are made as per the DPSP. Now, the government is in a fix. Government has to make rules along with the DPSP which says your land has to be taken, or it doesn't directly say your land has to be taken. It says that government has to construct a national highway, but you are not ready to give your land. Now the government is in a fix. So what Mrs. Gandhi did, she said that if I'm going to implement this DPSP, in that situation, your fundamental right can be taken away as well. So this was a big development. And that is the reason why right to property was removed from the fundamental right and it was added to the legal right. It is a legal right, it is not a fundamental right. Understood? Because of this thing, it could be done. Understood the entire thing? Hanji Deepshika, very good here. Nice, that's true. Understood the entire concept? What is the meaning of DPSP was given precedence over fundamental right? What I'm going to tell you is the entire there are total 6 amendments that were done in the 46th amendment, and this answer is going to be a detailed one, and this is going to cover at least 30 questions. This one answer that I'm talking about has been asked at least 30 times in your previous year questions. Another thing. It authorized the Supreme Court to transfer certain cases from the High Court, from one High Court to another. Now, there is a very beautiful, interesting story as to why that was done. The third point is it authorized the Supreme Court to transfer any one matter which is already impending in the High Court to any other court. Now, you say why that was done. You know the reason? It was basically because Madam Gandhi was facing a trial in the Allahabad High Court. And Allahabad High Court found Madam Gandhi guilty. Allahabad High Court said that yes, Madam Gandhi has done a mistake. She has actually wrong done things, and she is not fit to be a member of parliament. She definitely cannot be a prime minister. Allahabad High Court said to the Congress party, change your prime minister. I'm giving you 20 days to change the prime minister. And at the same time, Madam Gandhi cannot even remain a member of parliament as well. Now what Madam Gandhi did, she gave the power of the Supreme Court to actually snatch the case from that very High Court where she was facing the trial and give that particular case to some other High Court, so that where she can be actually be said as not guilty. So from guilty to not guilty, this entire thing happened. So entire 42nd amendment was done to suit her needs. You understood the third article very well? Very good yaar. Sabko third article samajh aa gaya अच्छे से? Okay, thank you. Let's get moving to the fourth point of this. As I said, there were 6 amendments which were made under this particular article, this particular amendment, and all these 6 particular amendments are asked in different formats. Now I'm going to talk about the 4th amendment that was made in this one. So it said that it provided administrative tribunals for speedy justice delivery. This is a very good point, I must say. I'm going to set this in detail. You see, so this point said that it provided for the setup of administrative tribunals which will actually speed up the judiciary process. Now, what are administrative tribunals? I do not know. What are tribunals? In fact, I do not know. You see, for example, if you are an IAS, let's say you cleared UPSEE and you are an IAS now, and something happens in your own department that you are now facing some departmental inquiry, right? Now, since you are an IAS, so there is a lot of responsibilities also there on your head. Understood? Now, if the government is going to file a case against you, let's say you are found in corruption, you are a corrupt IAS, let's say for a hypothetical fact, don't assume it as true, right? Just assume the part wherein you are an IAS, just assume that part as true, else everything is in hypothetical part. Now, let's say they are in corrupt IAS, and now what happened is, government is trying to frame charges against you, but if they are going to do that in the normal court, it's going to take years, and it could be possible that you are actually innocent and you have not done anything. So for a lot of time, you will be out of your job. At the same time, a lot of responsibility that was resting on your shoulders. Thousands of people who were depending upon you were actually left in lurch, right? They do not know where to go, whom to contact, what to do, because you were responsible for those people. Now, central administrative tribunals have been launched. What are these central administrative tribunals? All the cases which are relating to the Indian administrative services cases, they directly go to they do not go to the Supreme Court or the High Court. Although you can go to them, but the prima facie you have to actually go to Central Administrative Tribunal. I mean, this is a separate judicial bench which only listens to the cases of the IAS, so that the entire process can be moved up in a very fast manner. Understood? Is this point clear? Very good, yeah. Very good. Let's move on to the next point now. Let's move on to the fifth point. We have so far done the four amendments we have studied now. As I said, there were 6 major amendments which were made in the 46th Amendment. Coming on to the fifth point was, it was again a very, very interesting point what Madam Gandhi tried to have it here. You see, the president at this point was Mr. Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed. Now, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed ji was trying to ask Madam Gandhi not to implement so many changes, because that might disturb the solidarity of the country, or that might disturb the very basic structure of the country. Now, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed ji was again and again interfering in Madam Gandhi's work. He is the president, he can do that. And every single time what was to happen, if Madam Gandhi wants to get any new law made, any new act of the parliament made, you know that it needs the signature of the president, right? Now, and whenever it used to go to the President Sahab used to always say, "Nahi, this is wrong, this cannot be done, that cannot be done, make this amendment, make that amendment." So Madam Gandhi got frustrated. In this amendment, what she did was, she said, it is obligatory for the President to act on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Khatam kahani. Now, even the President cannot refuse anything if it has been advised by the Council of Ministers in written. Absolute tyranny. The sixth and the last point of this amendment was, since she already knew that she used some malpractices, and her son as well, Mr. Sanjay Gandhi, he also lost the election from the Amethi constituency. She was fighting from the Raebareli constituency of UP, and Mr. Sanjay Gandhi was fighting from the Amethi constituency of UP. So she already knew that she has lost the election. She has done the malpractices. And she wants to be PM for a longest duration of the time. So you know what she did? She changed the tenure of the Lok Sabha from 5 years to 6 years, so that she can actually get 1 more year as the Prime Minister. Which later on, when the Janata Party came via the 44th Amendment, they again reversed the entire decision that no, it is not it won't be 6 years, it will actually be 5 years only. So this is the entire 46th Amendment that we always keep listening to, that what is the 46th Amendment of 1976? It had predominantly 6 major changes. Did you guys got each and every single thing? Did you understand every single thing perfectly? Wonderful, yeah. Let's move on to next one now. The next is, for which of the following judgments of the Supreme Court of India, the case 1 and the Bharti versus the State of India case is considered as a landmark judgment? This again is too good example. How many of you do not know that what exactly this case is all about, and you always cram this up? I'll let you know. You see, so the basic structure of the preamble, right to life and liberty, abolishing untouchability, the religion cannot be mobilized for political ends, for which of the following judgments? Acha. So yes, okay. So we are talking about the judgments here. So what was, first of all, I'll tell you the answer. The basic structure of the Constitution, as defined in the preamble, cannot be changed. Preamble, it says 2 things. See, try to understand. It says 2 things. First of all, the basic structure is immovable. You cannot change the basic structure of the Constitution. And why do we have this? See, what was the need to have this structure, or what was the need of this case, or why this case is very popular? See, something happened, and that was what? So, Keshwananda Bharti. Can anyone tell me this case? Any idea? I'm not too sure whether I should discuss this right now, because it's already half an hour and we're 5. Ajay, we'll do one thing, guys. We'll limit the discussion now, and we'll move on to the more and more questions, right? We'll do the discussion, but not a lot of discussion, right? We'll stick to the SSC view only. Okay. So the Keshwanand Bharti case was that you can amend the Constitution, but the amendment of the Constitution should not at all change the basic structure of the Constitution. Now the catch here is that when people amend the constitution. The constitution has so far been amended 102 times. It has been amendment. A lot of amendment has already been done. 102 times. The GST was 101st amendment. So many times the amendments have been done. Now, so the Supreme Court said that the basic structure of the constitution cannot change, but what is the basic structure of constitution? It is not defined anywhere. So when people always change the constitution, they say nahi, it is just for the basic structure of the constitution, because what is basic structure of the constitution? No one has defined it ever. And who can decide it? Only the Supreme Court is having the sole right to decide whether a change is disturbing the basic structure or not. Coming on to the next one. Which amendment the words socialist, secular, unity, integrity of the nation were added? You already know this thing. Socialist, ISS, integrity, socialist, secular. It has been added by the 42nd amendment of the 1976 of the Indian Constitution. Very well. Now, coming on to, yes. Socialist, democratic, sovereign, secular. Kis order mein, in which particular order they have been given in the preamble of the country? We hereby declare, we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic. To constitute and to give to ourselves the Constitution of India. That is how the preamble, the language of the preamble goes. You must have heard this thing in your, there as well, in your school as well. You might have learned this preamble. So it is sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic. So it's 3142 answer is this one. Clear? Very good. Yeah. Coming on to the next one. Which of the following is correct? Social equality is not guaranteed in our constitution. Now the concept of equality is beautifully mentioned in the constitution. You know what? You see, the Constitution of India says that you can actually, the Constitution of India says, what happened? Alright. Okay. The Constitution of India says ki equality needs to be there, but it lists down just 6 criteria. Gender, caste, color, place of birth, religion, and one more is there. Apart from these 6 areas, if you want to do discrimination, you can do the discrimination. You are completely free to do the discrimination, but the only condition is that you should not do the discrimination in these 6 areas. That's it. Else you can, whatever you want, however the discrimination you want, you can easily do that. So this is the beauty of this particular section. It is Article 15 of the Indian Constitution, Article 15, Clause 1, Clause 2, Clause 3. They basically define for the equality and what kind of equality. And if you are actually going to give some unequal treatment, for example, Article 15, Clause 3 of the Indian Constitution says that though there is an equality, but you can give some special privilege to women and children. You can give some special privilege to women and children. Understood? So though there is an equality, but in certain cases, some positive discrimination can be made. What about this one? Which of the following is correct? Social equality is not guaranteed. Social equality already existed. Social equality is guaranteed in our constitution. Now, what would be the correct answer for this one? Social equality is guaranteed in our constitution, and Article 15 and Article 16 of the state, as I said, they tell the state means the country, that you shall not discriminate on the basis of place of birth, sex, gender, caste, and race, place of birth, all those things. Also, in the DPSP, under Article 44 of the Indian Constitution, it calls for the Uniform Civil Code as well. So yes, actually social equality is guaranteed by the fundamental rights, and it calls for even more guarantee via DPSP. So this is our answer. Is guaranteed. That's the answer. All right. Now come on to this one. We have a change now. Nice. That's very good, Vinod. That's very good. Alright, so philosopher's word is chemically, what is, this is a compilation of different blocks of GS. Hey, we have left one question or what? We have left one. How many schedules are there in the Constitution of India? You know what is a schedule? Can anyone tell me what is a schedule? I know we have been reading this quite a lot, but we do not know what is the schedule of the Constitution. You see, here a schedule is nothing. What happens is, for example, if I talk about this thing, what are my work? I'll say that I have an office work. I'll say that I have to make a GS lecture. If I have to, let's say I have to make a list. I'll say if I have to make GS lecture, then I'll say I have to make quants lecture, right? Now, if I have to write down every detail, every element of the GS lecture, don't you think my list will be very lengthy? है ना? My list will be very lengthy. Yes. If I have to write down every detail of the GS lecture, that I have to make 10 questions of polity, 10 questions of physics, 5 questions of chemistry, 5 questions of biology, the list will be huge, and it will not look good there. So what I'll do is, I'll write down these things here, and instead of writing this list entirely here, I'll make a separate block in my diary, and I'll write list, or here I'll write GS list. Now I will write down all the elements, all the minute elements that I needed to write. I'll write down all those elements in this list in a separate section of lists. Bas. The same thing happened in the constitution as well. Since when the constitution makers have to write down the languages which are accepted in India, the official languages. Now again, it is a very long list of things, right? When the Constitution of India has to list down all the powers that union government can make laws on this subject, state government can make laws on this subject, it will be very, very long list of powers. Don't you agree on that point? Yes, it will be very long list, because 100 subjects are there with the center union. So writing 100 subjects is a very cumbersome process. So what they did was, wherever you want a list is always fed into one kind of schedule. So schedules are nothing. They're actually the places wherein we dump all our list of various articles. Understood? So we have 12 schedules as of this moment. Very good here. Very good. Next one. Philosopher's wood is chemically, now will be moved pretty fast. Philosopher's wood is chemically what? It is actually zinc oxide. You see in what it is present. It is used to treat skin diseases. It is also used to, it's a white colored powder that most of the time these sunscreens are having. You see, you've seen whenever you apply a sunscreen, a whitish powdery substance gets left on your face. That is actually what? That is actually the zinc oxide. Or if you might have seen, you might always wonder, what is that particular thing that the cricketers have it on their face? So it is called zinc oxide hota hai ye. Sorry. Electric fuse in an alloy of, electric fuse jo hai, wo kiska alloy hota hai? Of what it is made up of. So electric fuse is made up of tin and lead, wherein the quantity of tin is higher and the quantity of tin is lower. It's a 60-50 or 60-40 ratio. Tin is 60%, approximately 60%, and lead is approximately 40%. And they are basically, whenever, see, one more very important thing I would like to say. If you would see that the electrical fuse alloy is made up of tin and tin and lead. But whenever you will see the electrical fuse of your home, you will only see copper wires there. Have you seen this thing? You only see copper wire there. You never see any tin or lead wire there. The electric fuse that you have in your home, the big fuse that you take out, we call it cutout. We call it, in a common language, we call it cutout. Why? Now no books talk about this particular thing. You see, you have to be very particular while you're dealing with these kind of questions. The examiner is very, very smart. Sometimes it asks that what kind of alloy is used in the home electrical fuse, main fuse. You see, tin or lead alloys are only used up till 15 amperes of current. Now beyond 15 amperes of current, for example, the main fuse of your home, it actually draws out more than 15 amperes of current. So for all those things, only copper wires are used. That is the reason in the main fuse of the home fittings, you always see only and only copper wire, and you never see any tin or lead alloy there. Understood? That's the answer. Good. So let's move on to the next one. If lime water is kept in air, it turns milky due to the presence of. So it is very simple and very easy. You see, lime water is kept in the air. So why it turns milky? It's simple. What is lime water? It's actually calcium hydroxide. Now, what will happen is, once you're keeping this in the air, it gets reacted by the CO2, and what will be the product? It will be CaCO3 calcium carbonate, which is tuna. You might have heard the word tuna. So it is calcium carbonate plus water. Now calcium carbonate is obviously, it is white. It is what? Calcium carbonate is what? Chalk. marble, they're all calcium carbonate. Yes. So basically it is because of the carbon dioxide it is becoming white in color. Cool. Let's move on to the next one. The purest form of iron इसको क्या बोलते हैं? It is called as wrought iron. Wrought is the purest and the commercial form of iron, the kind of iron that you use in the metro bridges. It is actually wrought iron. Next one. The ratio of pure gold and 18 karat gold. This is a brilliant question, you see, guys, and this will also explain you up why and how the goldsmith makes money. You see, whenever goldsmith charges you some amount, it always charges you on 24 karat gold, right? It says ki yaar, theek hai, this is a 24 karat gold and I'm charging you amount for this one. But what they give you up, they give you 18 karat of gold and they say ki yaar, this much gold is lost in all these processes that we make. Now, how much gold actually is there in that 18 karat gold? If you have to find out, you just do this thing. Carat of gold present divided by 24 into 100. Yani ki in 18 karat gold, how much gold is present? How much percent gold is present? It is very simple. 6 3s are, 6 4s are. Actually 75% gold is present in an 18 karat gold. So they are actually charging you money for 24 karat gold and 24 karat gold, giving you 18 karat gold, wherein the cost price is only 75%. So the 25% of the price of the 24 karat gold is their margin. Understood the point? So it does 75%. The gas that is used in the manufacture of Vanaspati ghee, it's nothing but the hydrogenation. You see, in Vanaspati ghee, what happens is a lot of unsaturated bonds are present between carbon-carbon. You see, like these. This is an unsaturated, hydrocarbon. That is a Vanaspati ghee. How to make it saturated? That means, saturation means a lot of hydrogen needs to be present. And how hydrogen needs to be present? By hydrogenation, by a process called as hydrogenation. So we actually add the hydrogen to it. Understood? The isotope of uranium used in atomic reactor. Now, what isotope of uranium is used in the atomic reactor? It is uranium 235 or plutonium 239. I'm giving you two answers in just one question. Uranium 235 or plutonium 239. These are very heavy radii nuclei. Plutonium 239. Cool. The hottest part of the gas flame is known as, you see, hottest part of any gas flame, it is very much, you see, it is a question of great common sense, I would say. Why? Yeah, the hottest part will be where the chemical reaction will be maximum, right? And in any kind of combustion reaction, how does the combustion happens? A combustion happens because of the presence of the oxygen, right? And which part of the flame will be in contact with the maximum oxygen? The outermost part, right? The outermost part will be having the maximum combustion, hence the maximum energy as well, or the hottest part of this one. And since that is already hottest part, so it is called as complete combustion is there. All the carbon turns into carbon dioxide and it is a non-luminous zone. No luminous happens there. It's the hottest zone. Which type of glass is used for making glass reinforced plastic? You know what the use of these things? Glass reinforced plastic. So glass reinforced plastic is used in your windscreen. Have you ever seen the windscreen of your car? The front screen of your car? It is made of this kind of glass. It is having a plastic. If you might have seen on some road or in some accident cases, the car is standing there. The car is lying standalone on the road. You might have seen that the glass has been shattered. But then also it is already in its frame only. It has not broken away. It is already shattered, but it hasn't left its frame. Why? Because there is a layer of plastic that is actually holding the glass from both the ends, from front as well as from the inner end as well. The outer end as well as the inner end, it is holding it together. So that is the glass reinforced plastic. And that is what? The fiberglass. Fiberglass is used for make glass reinforced plastic. Cool. And it is also less brittle, it is lightweight and it's very, very strong. So it is fiberglass. Which one the following is the major cause of acid rain? Now I'm telling you just one simple shortcut. How does a rain occur? Because of evaporation of the water. How does evaporation occur? Because of the sunlight. Yes. So so I can say because of sun, the rain happens. So S means SO2, N means NO2. That means these are the only two gases which are responsible for the acid rain. That's it. That's a shortcut. So just check the answers now. Nitrogen dioxide, that is responsible for your acid rain. Clear hai? Flint class is different. Now we are, since we are very short of time, so I'll be wrapping it up now. Acha guys, whoever now we will be wrapping it up. We'll catch up tomorrow, maybe, right? We'll be catching up tomorrow, and I guess that you guys would have loved this session. You guys have liked you guys would have got something, gained something from this session. That would be something which I would really like if the session was beneficial to you. So we'll be catching up again. Bye bye, tata, take care. And yes, again, if any one of you is looking to have the complete preparation, full all-round preparation with me, along with me, you want to have the all-round preparation, you guys can this one. No, it's not carbon monoxide. It's not carbon monoxide. You guys can take the complete courses on SSC. My complete batches are running in SSC category. The complete GS batch, the complete quants batch. So you can get that subscription if you want complete preparation, full syllabus if you want. So SSC exams here. And this is the fee structure. This is for the 24 months. This is for the 12 months. And you get special discount. It's LAB, special discount code LAB. Now, in this fee, it's 7,020 after discount. You won't just get my videos, but all the faculties' videos. I mean, all the top faculties of India will be teaching you up, and they'll be covering the full syllabus, the entire syllabus of your SSC CGL. So you can actually expect a great improvement in the probability of your selection with them. A really great the probability of selection there. Right, and if you are having any problem in getting onboarded onto Unacademy Plus, having any problem getting the subscription of Unacademy Plus, you can call onto my support helpline, and these guys will help you up getting onboarded on Unacademy Plus. All right. Hi, thank you, Harini. Thank you. Harini, that is a combined batch. That is the batch in which, if you have seen my sessions, the manner in which I take on lab, माने Hindi और English का combine रहता है. It's not entire the batch. The study material is completely in English, but the language is bilingual there in the batches. It's not entirely English. It's bilingual. Cool, ठीक है. तो फिर bye bye, टाटा, take care यार. फिर मिलेंगे. बहुत अच्छा लगा आप लोगों से बात करके. You guys had a good enthu, and you guys maintained that good enthu throughout your session. Thank you guys. It was a great time with you. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care.